or representations. Sorry. Then next point of our discussion is election system in representative democracy. That is your plurality system. Then is your majoritarian system. Then proportional system. And next point of our discussion is accountability, fundamental to the democracy. And last, that is your conclusions. So in this chapter, we have to come across with these few points, and we have to discuss the different points, how the that is your democracy or the representations and accountability of the that is your leaders of the or your that is your representatives of the people, those who sent to rule over them. So coming to the part of the introductions, as we have already discussed in the democracy or what is democracy, we have already discussed that what is the meaning of the democracy, what is the nature of the democracy, what is the features, and what is the significance of democratic form of government. We have already discussed in our last class. And democracy is a form of government. It is a very long inception. It was started from the Greek political thought or from Greek political philosophy, and which means a state in which leaders are chosen among the general populations. That means from among the people, the leaders are to be chosen and they are to be rule over the people. It is not like the monarchy. That means in a monarchical form of government, what happened? The leaders are from or chosen, they come out of the hereditary, or the prince of the king will be declared as the next ruler while the king died. So in a democracy, what happens? The leaders has to be chosen from among the people or general population, general people. So a democratic society is one in which the spirit of equality and fraternity prevails. That means equal opportunity should be given to each and every section of the populations to become a representative, irrespective of their caste, color, creed, sex, and religion. That means, I mean to say that in a democratic form of government, what happened? The leaders are to be chosen from among the people, irrespective of their caste, color, creed, sex, religion, and place of birth. That means these things are cannot be given priority while choosing a leader. That means they are from among the general people or general public. So a democratic government are representative government and accountable to the citizens for their any act. That means, I mean to say that for any act of omission and commission, the leaders or the representative, what you may say, the leaders or the representative, they are accountable to, they are accountable to the citizens for their act of omission and commission. That means whatever they do, they are accountable to the people. And in which way they are accountable to the people? They are accountable to the people through the way of the election or the electoral system. That means the electoral system or elections or periodical elections plays an important role in determining the representatives are accountable to the people. That means, as you know, ଯେତେବେଳେ ତୁମେ ଦେଖୁଛ ଯେ ମାନେ ଇଲେକ୍ସନ୍ ହେଉଛି the people or the government are accountable. That means, say for an example, if the previous government is not working, that is for the development of the society or for the development of the people, then people may suddenly reject by giving or by casting their vote against the particular leader or particular political party. So my point of argument is that in a democratic form of government or in a representative form of government, the people or the that is your powers or the rights of the people are that is your powers are belong to the general public, and whenever there is no development took place or there is no that is the government is not based on the consent of the people, then the government may be overthrown by the people while the election will come, and they cast their vote against the particular government or against the particular leader, and in this way, as the leaders or the particular political party, they know that after some time or a particular period of time, that is which may be 5 year or which may be 4 year, କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ସମୟ ପରେ ତାକୁ ଇଲେକ୍ସନ ଫେସ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡୁଛି ନା ନାହିଁ?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍।
ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ କ'ଣ କରିବେ ଯେ ନା ସେମାନେ they were always accountable to the their acts of omission and commission. ସେମାନେ ଯାହା ସବୁ କିଛି କରିବେ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ ଉତ୍ତରଦାୟୀ ରହିବେ। ବୁଝିହେଲା? So this is called the representations and the accountability. So in a direct democracy, as you know, is a pure type of democracy. Representation of the people is made through the that is your direct participations or involvement in the decision making process of the government. That means people in a direct democracy, they participate actively in the decision making process of the government, and they at that time, as I have already discussed about the that is your principle of the direct democracy, that is your plebiscite, recall and initiative. ବୁଝିଛ ତ ସେ ପଏଣ୍ଟ ଗୁଡାକ?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍।
How the people directly participates in the that is your decision making process of the government, and if they are not satisfied, then they make the recall. If they are not satisfied, they make questions about the different issues. That point we have already discussed. So in a representative form of government, so the electoral process, one person or group of people are elected and assigned with a task of making decision. That means through the electoral process, one person or a group of people, what you see in case of your that is your any political party, group of people means any political party, that is elected or assigned with task of making a decision on behalf of the citizens, and they represent or the representatives, they represents the that is your orientations of the people, taking into concern the favorable support of the people in favor of them. तार अर्थ होची जे जेतेबेले माने भोट आसुची से समय रे कोन करूछु हमें जे नहीं we are casting vote in favor of a particular person or in favor of a particular community or group, that may be the political party particularly speaking. So what happened while giving our consent to a particular political party in a representative government, that means we send the particular person or we send the particular political party to form the government, so that they should formulate the different rules and regulations for the governance of the people, and on the basis of the consent of the people. I mean to say that if something is not desired by the people, then government could not formulate such type of rules and regulations which is not based on the consent of the people. That is called the representative government. That means the representative, they have to must take into considerations the consent of the people, so that basing upon the consent of the people, they rule for time and again. This is called your representative government or representative form of government. That means we choose a particular leader or a particular political group, and on the basis of giving casting our vote through the electoral process, they rule over us by taking our consent, and they formulate different rules and regulations on the basis of the consent of that particular consent of the people, rather you may say it is citizen. So next point of our discussion is representations in democracy. That means representation, second point of our discussion, that is how representations meet. Under the representative democracy, the representatives are elected by the citizen, and the representation is defined as the process by which political power are derived from the people and occupy ultimate power through periodically elected by the people. This means I have already say you that under the representative democracy, the representatives are elected by the citizen. They are elected by the citizens through electoral process, and the representation is defined as the process. This is a process by which political powers are derived from the people. That means they derived their power. That means those people or to whom we choose as our representative, they derived their power from the consent of the people which we give through the election. आमे जो मतामतटा देइछु किंबा इलेक्शन रे जो आमे हमर भोट देला ता माने होची जे आमे कंसेंट देला से लोक को जे तमे माने आम सपक्ष रे नीति नियम प्रणयन कर जहा को कि लोक माने मानिबा को बाध्य. That means they derived the power from the people and occupy ultimate power. That means they have the power to formulate different rules and regulations for the governance of the people and occupy the ultimate power through periodically elected by the people. That means today you may give the consent in favor of a particular people, that may be A. Tomorrow you may give your favorable vote in favor of a particular people, that may be B. बुझीगला ना नहीं. फॉर एग्जांपल आमे आज गोटे लोक को पसंद करिछु किंतु काली अन्य लोक को भी आमे पसंद करिकी vote देबा. So on the basis of the consent of the people, they derived their power and ultimately rule over the people by through the process of periodically elected by the people. And there are 5 important principles of the representation. What are those? The important principle are the ultimate power lies with the people. First principle is there. The ultimate power. That means you cannot do such a thing which is not supported by the people. If the people, they do not like whatever you are making any rules and regulations for the governance of the people, that means they deny it, and in the next time you have to, that means favorable decisions you must have to be produced. so that the people will support you, give their consent in favor of you. That means while you are is in power, you are ruling over the people, and it is the consent that derives power from the people, and you are ruling over the people. So that is the reason why it is stated that the ultimate power lies with the people, or the principle of popular sovereignty. That means you are, or the government is sovereign because of the popular consent over them, or the group of the people. Second important principle is that the popular power is exercised by a selected few on behalf of the many. That means all the people, they cannot be derived their power or rule over the people, but they are only the selected few. That means the few members, they are selected, and they are sent to the parliament or to the legislature to make or to formulate rules and regulations which are meant for the general people, or which are implemented upon the people. That means the popular power is exercised by a selected few. That few person, they exercise the power on behalf of the many. On behalf of many means the people, they give their consent in support of them. That is called the that is your on behalf of the many, and in this way they rule over the people. Third important principle is that the representatives are mandated through periodical election. That means whatever they are doing, they try to justify we are doing for the betterment of the society, and we are all, they try to justify while the election will come, that we have done such and such things, such and such activity, such and such developmental work, so that the people, you must cast your vote in favor of us. That is called the representatives are mandated through periodical elections or popular consent of the people. That means you have to give him your consent in favor of us, and by means of doing this, they, for the next time, they also come to the power. That is, the representatives are mandated through periodical elections. Mandated means they legalized and through the periodical elections. Then fourth point is that decisions are binding on the people. That means whatever the decisions they took, or the representatives of the people they took in favor of the citizens, these principles were binding on the people. That means if somebody violates, then it will lead to the physical punishment or compulsion. I mean to say that you must have to obey the rules and regulations formulated by the government. That means you cannot disobey. If you disobey, then there will be lead to the physical punishment or compulsion. जो सब नीति नियम आमर जनप्रतिनिधि गुड़ाक प्रस्तुत करेंगे, से सब नीति नियम गुड़ा को लोक माने किंबा जनसाधारण किंबा द सिटीजेन्स, व्हाट एवर यू मे कॉल, they are bound to obey. That means disobedience to the rules and regulations formulated by the government lead to the physical punishment or compulsion. If जदि कौन सी व्यक्ति ताहा मानती नहीं किंबा अमान्य करती, ताहेले कौन हेबो जे नहीं ता पई निश्चित भाव रे सीता दंड विधान रो व्यवस्था रही, and that is called the lead to the physical punishment or the compulsion, and the decisions made by them are binding upon the people. Our fifth principle is that the ultimate power lies with the people, or that is again the principle is accountability. That means The representatives are accountable to the people. If at all, I mean to say that categorically, if at all the rules and regulations formulated by the government were disliked by the people, then while there is election or when the next general election come, the people they goes or they cast their vote against the particular people or against the particular government or against the particular political party. Where? Because this government is not formulating rules and regulations on the basis of the likes of the people. ଯାହା ସେ ଲୋକ ଗୁଡାକ କିମ୍ବା that is your state ର ଲୋକ ଗୁଡାକ ଜନସାଧାରଣ ଯଦି ସେ ଗୋଟିଏ ନୀତି ନିୟମକୁ ଚାହୁଁନଥିବେ ଆଉ ସେ ନୀତି ନିୟମ ସେ ସରକାର ପ୍ରଣୟନ କରୁଥିବ ତାହେଲେ କଣ ହେବ on the next general elections they will have to accountable in favor of the people where such type of rules and regulations are made because that are not necessary for the governance of the people. And that means accountability means what happened? They cast their vote against the particular political party or against the particular person or against a particular government. In this way, what happened? The ultimate power lies with the people. যদি କୌଣସି ସରକାର ଭାବେ ଯେ ଆମେ ସର୍ବସ୍ପ କ୍ଷମତାର ଅଧିକାରୀ ୟାର ଆମକୁ କେହି ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ କରିପାରିବେ ନାହିଁ then it cannot be true because while there is general elections come with a particular period that may be 5 year or maybe 4 year or maybe 6 year then what will happen? The people they goes against the particular government because the government is not based on the concern of the people. In this regard, Edmund Burke is of the opinion that the representatives should be guided by the four things, that is constituency opinion, that means opinion of the people, then rational judgment, because as you know man is a rational creature, that means rational judgment must be reached from the community, then consideration of the national interest, that means representative government should give priority to the national interest of the country, and personal conviction, that means personal accountability, that means convicted to the particular decisions. So that these are the principles stated by the Edmund Burke. And next we shall discuss about the that is type of representations. Type of representation means what happened in a democracy. Basically, the universal adult franchise is the principle. What is that universal adult franchise? That is সার্বজনীন সাবালক ভোট প্রথা. That means if the citizens or if a particular community or the people they are eligible to cast their vote, that is called universal adult franchise. That means irrespective of their caste, color, creed, sex, religion, place of all the citizens, all the people, those who have attained a particular age, they are eligible to cast their vote, and they are eligible to cast their vote. So the type of representation is that first is the territorial representations. What is territorial representations? That means territory, that means it was divided on the basis of the under the territorial representations, the country is divided into geographical area, different constituencies, and voters of each constituency elect their representatives. The constituency has a uniform interest. That means the constituency. That means nowadays, say for an example, in case of the Odisha, the that is territorial representations. Different area has their different problems and different. It was divided into different constituency, as you know. ବୁଝି ହଉଛି ନା ନାଇଁ?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍।
Different constituency, and they have their different assumption, and on the basis of the assumption, that what happened, they have their uniformity of interest. ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଜାଗାର ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ସମସ୍ୟା ଅଛି, ଆଉ ସେ ସମସ୍ୟାକୁ ନେଇକି ସେହି ଜାଗାର ଲୋକେ କିମ୍ବା ସେହି ଏରିଆର ଲୋକମାନେ କ'ଣ କରିବେ ନା those people they cast their vote, those who are given the priority to their uniform interest. And but since the populations are divided into varying groups, the interest should become imperative and introduced in functional representations. What happened in case of the territorial representation? What happened? The geographical area is taken into the considerations, and they have their uniform interest. Second principle is that is your functional representations. Functional representations means what? It implies that people belonging to different occupations or functions should be allowed to elect their representatives on the similar basis. For example, say for an example, what happened? That is your functional representations. What happened? The people belonging to a particular area, say for an example, the agriculture is given most priority. If an agriculturalist or the candidate is belong to an agriculturalist family, then he is given more priority. Say for an example, somewhere the industries were there, and people belong to various, maximum people belong to that area is from industrial background. If that industry is given priority or industrial units are given priority, industrial sectors vote on industrial policy. That means our decisions, that means the decisions of the citizens are determined on the basis of the function. That means industry, agriculture sector, and so many other sectors. On this way, the votes are determined, and this is called as the functional, that is your factor or functional representation. And in this way, the representatives are to be chosen and representations are to be made. Then there is theories of the representations. What are the theories of the representations? Let us discuss. Hello.
Sir, functional representation टा बुझिलानी.
Functional representations माने, say for an example, तम एरिया रे विभिन्न जगह रे बहुत चाष होउची हैला, it is a function, so you have to vote for a particular functional basis. That means agriculture sector, industry sector given priority. If industrial unit is given priority, on the basis of that representation were made. जो जगह इंडस्ट्री थी से जगह एग्रीकल्चर को प्रायोरिटी दिया से इलेक्टेड हम कि ना. That is the functional factor that determines the representations. बुझिए लगी नहीं. Say for an example, in Odisha, the Bargarh district, it is an agricultural sector. Here, the priority must be given to the agricultural principle, so that the representative were being elected or being priority is being given. बुझिए ना नहीं. Then your theory of the representations. Then the different theory of the representations give a conceptual clarity on the role of the representatives. That means what is the role of the representative in the democratic representations. The reactionary theory is based on the superior knowledge and the wisdom. First is your reactionary theory. Superior knowledge and the wisdom of the politicians who are regarded as the best custodian of the public interest. That means superior knowledge and the wisdom of the politician. Say for an example, we choose a particular representatives or representations is made on the basis of the wisdom or knowledge of that particular politicians regarding different issues. That means the feelings of a particular leader regarding a particular issue. Say for an example, where now many people were criticizing the representations made by the Modi government that they are belong to the Hindu community. That is called the wisdom and knowledge, where people given priority to that particular to this particular community, because they are given based on the superior knowledge and wisdom of the politicians on with regard to the their political interest. Taking into considerations the political interest, they are given priority. So this reactionary theory, the exponent of this reactionary theory were Thomas Hobbes, Hamilton, and they regarded that is order and authority based on maintained by the executive and the parliament. That means this theory is a democratic as long as it was accepted by the or the public interest in policy making. That means while making different policies, the public interest or primacy of public interest is given most important, and unless it will give public interest priority, it will lose its support. Second is your conservative theory, and the chief exponent of this theory were Edmund Burke, James Madison. They says that they says that it allow people to choose representative from elite group. It allow people to choose representative from elite group. However, the representative can be replaced in case of failure of the performance. गोटे elite group टे थिबो, से group रो representative टा choose करा जिवो. आउ choose हला परे जदि से representative on the basis of the performance परफॉर्म करी पारिला नहीं, ताहेले कोन करा जिवो, ताकू रिप्लेस करा जिवो. That is the principle of the conservative theory of the representations. Next is your liberal theory. Liberal theory means the chief exponent of this liberal theory were John Locke, Thomas Jefferson, and this liberal theory give importance to the equality of all people with equal capability to rule. That means equal opportunity should be given to all the people or all the section of the population irrespective of their caste, color, creed, sex and religion. बुझेला जे each and equality should be given importance. All are equal irrespective of their caste, color, creed, sex, religion, and equal capability to rule. It is based on the principle of equality of all people with equal capability to rule. No doubt we know that some persons in the society are more capable than the other persons, but the liberal theory of representation says that it is the equality of all people is there irrespective of their caste, color, creed, sex and religion, and equal capability to rule over the people is given priority. So next is your radical theory. Radical theory or the chief exponent of this radical theory were the Rousseau and New Left. The chief exponent of this radical theory were Rousseau and the New Left. These are the two chief exponents of this theory, or the writers, who hold the wisdom of the people in highest, and um, the representative government itself, it holds that the wisdom of the people is bound to diluted through the process of representations. And I remind you that this radical theory, it regards the direct democracy as the as only true democratic form of government. Because what happened, the representation is diluted through the process of the people bound to diluted through the process of representation. That means direct, that is your that is your you may say direct involvement of the people in the decision making process. Radical theory means radical decisions are come out of the particular theory. Radical representation, तुमको गोटे लोक भल लगिला यू सपोर्ट, भल लगिला नहीं यू गो एंड withdraw your support, and that can be possible in direct democracy through the process of recall. बुझिएला? Next point is that election system in representative democracy. So the election system or election system in a representative democracy, and as you know, and as I have already told you, that the election system in a representative democracy is made through the proportional representations and by means of proportional, and that means that is your universal adult franchise. By means of this, the representation system is made, or election system in a representative democracy is made. What happened in case of the, that is your representative democracy, it was based on the several principle, and first principle is that the existence of regular, free, fair election based on the universal adult suffrage and secret ballot system. That means the existence of the representative democracy, the election system, the principle, the existence of regular, free, fair election based on universal and secret ballot. This is one of the first important principle related to the representative democracy. बुझिएला? बुझी होची ना नहीं? Existence of regular, हाँ, existence of regular माने election टा सबु दिन होउथबो, that means regularly in a that is your particular interval, सेटा 4 वर्ष हो 5 वर्ष हो रेगुलर इलेक्शन होथबो. आज हेला इलेक्शन आलो इलेक्शन टा बंद हेगला, सेमिति हेले हबो ने रिप्रेजेंटेशन थी हेला. रेगुलर फ्री इलेक्शन, फ्री एंड फेयर, that means that should not be any type of, that is your the election is based on the consent of the people, free consent of the people, and universal suffrage. That means each and every section of the populations, they are provided with their rights to cast their vote, irrespective of their caste, color, creed, sex and religion. से व्यक्ति कौन सी जाति धर्म वर्ण निर्विशेष समस्त को समान अधिकार दिया जावा कथा. रिप्रेजेंटेटिव डेमोक्रेसी रे several principles are there, and this is the one of the first important principle. There must be a regular election in a clear cut interval. There must be free election which should not be bound by the any other forces. हमें फ्री इलेक्शन बोली कहूँ, फ्री इलेक्शन होउची की होउनी, but maybe there are some malified intentions, no doubt, Still then we compare it with as the free election and free and fair election. तुम विभिन्न समय देखुव जे नहीं कौन हो नहीं that is your they are saying that is your EVM system were hacked. They are saying that our people are not given voting. They were indulging various type of unlawful activities. It should not be given priority in a representative democracy. And clear cut representation is only possible only when there is regular election, free and fair elections, and universal suffrage with secret ballot system. That means whatever you are giving your consent, anybody, that means they took under the secret ballot, not open ballot system. That is the principle of the democracy. Open ballot system माने कौन होची डायरेक्ट डेमोक्रेसी रे कौन हेबो जे नहीं लोक गुड़ाक गोटे पार्टिकुलर जगह एकत्रित हेबे एंड दे विल रेज देयर हैंड एंड पार्टिकुलरली कास्ट दे कास्ट देयर वोट इन फेवर ऑफ ए पार्टिकुलर पर्सन और ए पार्टिकुलर ग्रुप ऑफ पर्सन. It cannot be provided in a representative democracy. It is not the principle. If the principle is that it must be made in a secret ballot system. Then second point is that the existence of competing political party offering electoral choices. Competing political party means there must be multi-party system or there must be choice. That means offering electoral choices. तमे जेते बेले भोट देबा को जाउछ तमो पाखरे चॉइस अछि कि नहीं whether A is good, whether B is good or whether C is good. That choice must be given in a representative democracy to the people. जदि choice दिया जीवो नहीं ताहेले we cannot or the election cannot be the representative election. Hela that means various choices are to be provided to the people to choose the justified person, to choose the capable person, to choose the intelligent person, knowledgeous persons, so that they should serve for the interest of the society. Bujhiyala? Next point is that the existence of electoral laws supervised by an independent judiciary. Third point is existence of electoral laws. That means certain rules and regulations must be there to supervise. And who will supervise? A supervisor is necessary because man by nature is a social animal and he was guided by the various social instinct. That is the reason there must be independent and impartial judicial system. If somebody take any unlawful acts to that is your accumulate consent of the people in favor of him, then there must be the existence of the judiciary to interpret and certain rules and regulations must be there. जेमिति तुमे देखुथुबो जे नै इलेक्शन रो किछि दिन पूर्वरु प्रचारटा बंद हो जाए 24 घंटा बा 48 घंटा पूर्वरु इलेक्शन कमिशन कोन करंती इम्पार्शियल जुडिशियल सिस्टम सेटा से कोन करिवे ना प्रचारटा को बंद कर देबे पोस्टरटा बंद हो जिवो पोस्टर गुडा को सब हटा जिवो से एरिया रो 100 मीटर रेडियस भितरे जा थिबो किबा इलेक्शन पुल समय these are some of the different rules. That means the election must be guided by some rules and regulations, and on the basis of which an independent judiciary always work for the successful working of the democracy or for the successful working of the representative democracy, rather you may say. That means the system says that a just person or that is your eligible person must come to rule over the people. That is the main principle. Then freedom of speech and association. Next point. Freedom of speech and association must be there without criticism. Freedom of speech means what? Without criticism. The government is not aware of the demands of the people. आज जदि आमर डिमांड गुड़ाक फुलफिल न हेबो ताहले आमे कोन करूछु जे नहीं वी विल रेज आवर हैंड्स और वी विल मेक different bonds, different strikes. That is through the freedom of speech and association. We formulate the different association to put forth our demand upon the government or to inform about the demand of the people or to aware about the demand of the people. That is through the formulations of the different association. That is possible. That means the pressure group. So the freedom of speech, आमे जेतेबेले कहूछु, we are saying different thing whether the government is good, whether the government is bad. We have to give our consent or views on particular issue. Say for an example, nowadays corona or the pandemic corona is going on. There are many people have their many views with regard to dealing with corona by the central government or the state government. That is the freedom of speech, so that the government is aware about the demand of the people. आज जो माने टीकाकरण चली जे नहीं 45 वर्षर उर्ध्वर लोकन को टीकाकरण दिया जाउछि, बट द गवर्नमेंट द सिचुएशन इज ग्रीमिंग डे बाय डे. Government is aware about this. That is the reason why suddenly the central government announced that after that is your May 1st, all the people above the age of the 18 were given the vaccination, because it will encroach upon these young masses and that is your opinion of the people on different issues is going on, and that by listening to that through different association, government is reacting. That is called the freedom of speech and the association. Then is your freedom to stand as an election candidate. Each and every section of the population or each and every person, those who fulfill the minimum requisite criteria in a representative democracy, he is given freedom to contest the election. While election is contesting, that means they have the power to contest the elections. Then is your that is reasonable relationship between the votes cast and the representative elected. That means there will be a clear-cut relation while giving your vote in favor of a particular representative. Reasonable relationship between votes cast and the representative elected. Why you should cast your vote that is to a particular political party or to a particular candidate? The reason is that the relations, the ideological relation, that is your that is equality. That means your ideology is something, and if that ideology is tossed by a particular political party or a particular representative, then you are casting your vote in favor of that particular political party or particular candidate. That is called the reasonable relationship between the vote cast and the representative elected. Then is your availability of accurate, unbiased political information. Huh?
Reasonable relationship between votes point out thare कहंतु.
That means reasonable relationship between the vote cast. There will, while you are casting a vote, why you cast your vote in favor of particular political party or particular candidate? Because you have certain expectation from that particular political party or from that particular candidate. Then you have the relation, psychological relation, whether you are motivated toward the principle provided by the BJP political party, BJP as a political party, or BJD as a political party. That is the relation established in a psychological manner, and that is the reason why you are casting your vote in favor of a particular party or in favor of a particular candidate. Tomor kei atmyo, that is your relatives, somebody is standing whether you are giving your vote in favor of that particular candidate or not, because that is your relations, that is your reasonable relations established in between that particular candidate or particular political party. Okay.
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍।
Then last is your availability of accurate unbiased political information. Accurate unbiased political information, that means in a representative government there must be accurate and unbiased political information. It's play an important role in a representative form of the government. Then next point of our discussion is that is your the broadly speaking, the electoral system, that is electoral system may be identified under democratic system, that is categorized under the three category. That is your first is your plurality system, second is your majoritarian system, third is your proportional representations, and first, that is we discuss the first, that is the principle of plurality system, and this principle of plurality system practiced in Great Britain. It is based on the first past the post system. That means any candidates obtaining a largest number of the votes will be declared elected. ବୁଝିହେଲା, first past the post system, write it down, first past the post system. Plurality system ta based on the principle of first past the post system, and the candidate obtaining a largest number of the vote will be declared elected, and it is not necessary to rescue it is not necessary to secure absolute majority. This system practiced in Great Britain, that is your House of Commons, and it promotes a bi-party system. Plurality system promotes bi-party system. Okay. So next point of our discussion is majoritarian system. Majoritarian system means it requires an absolute majority, or what is going on in the, that is your presidential election in India. I mean to say that, say for an example, if one gets an absolute majority of the first preference vote, that means jodi plus 2 re tume padhithibo preferential vote system, A, B, C, D is the candidate, and you have to give your preference 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, D, E is the candidate, then you have to give your preference on the basis of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whether A is your first preference, whether B is your third preference, whether C is your second preference. That is the preferential vote system, and it is through this, until and unless a candidate obtain the absolute majority and the first preference those candidate, and the process is repeated till the candidate gets the absolute majority. माने धरो जहाँ प्रिफरेंशियल वोट सिस्टम रे हुए सेटा हला जे पांच जन कैंडिडेट अछंती आउ से पांच जन कैंडिडेट मध्यरु तुमको कोन कराइबो ना तुम प्रिफरेंस वाइज वोट देबो, whether माने सब कैंडिडेट को तुमे वोट देबा को पड़िबो, बुझियला, बट ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द प्रिफरेंस. किंतु आमे यूनिवर्सल एडल्ट सफरेज रे कोन कराया जे नै आमे गोटिए कैंडिडेट को आमे वोट देई थाउ, किंतु ए जगह रे कोन कराइबो नै प्रिफरेंशियल वोट सिस्टम. जेते जण कैंडिडेट अछंती सेते जण को तुमरो प्रिफरेंस अनुଯାयी, माने तुमे प्रिफरेंस 1 दउचो काहाकू, प्रिफरेंस 2 दउचो काहाकू, प्रिफरेंस 3 दउचो काहाकू, एमिति बेसिस रे voting हेबो. आउ तापरे a candidate until and unless will secure the absolute majority, निश्चित भाव एब्सोल्यूट मेजोरिटी हेबो. तापरे नेक्स्ट कोन कराइबो, जदि धरो प्रथम गणति रे जणे एब्सोल्यूट मेजोरिटी आनिला नाही, जो कैंडिडेट लास्ट अमाउंट ऑफ वोट सिक्योर करिदिबो से फॉर एन एग्जांपल इज गिवन ए लिस्ट अमाउंट ऑफ द वोट बहुत कम वोट पाइछि ई ताको कोन करा दिबो एलिमिनेट करा दिबो प्रोसेस रो आ एमिति एलिमिनेशन प्रोसेस चलिबो आ जेते बेले गोटिए कैंडिडेट तार कोन हेबो जे नहीं से एब्सोल्यूट मेजॉरिटी पाइबो तापरे ताको कोन कराइबो ही विल बी डिक्लेयर्ड एज इलेक्टेड next is your proportional representations. Proportional representations means it is represented in a multi member constituency in order to secure a fair representations for the minority as well as the majority. It is a complex system which implemented by the several methods like list system and single transferable vote system. सिंगल ट्रांसफरेबल भोट सिस्टम माने कौन हम जे ना जे जेमिति भारत रे कौन हुए जे प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शन proportional representation by means of the single transferable vote system. This is the process of election of the presidential election in India, and on the basis of that the president of India were got elected. Due to constraint of time 6टा तो बाजी गलानी आ दुईटा पॉइंट अछि मु टिके टिके कहि दउची हला चैप्टर सरी accountability fundamental to the democracy. I have already discussed you about this principle, that is in a democracy or in a representative democracy. बुझी पारछो ना in a representative democracy what happen कि नहीं the representatives are accountable to their acts of omission and commission. कौन सी काम जदि से माने करूछंती ताहेले दे आर अकाउंटेबल टू द पीपल फॉर देयर एक्ट्स ऑफ कमिशन एंड कमिशन जहाँ भी काम करिवे हमर रिप्रेजेंटेटिव गुडाको से माने सही काम पई जनसाधारण को पाखरे उत्तरदायी रहिबे एंड दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट प्रिंसिपल ऑफ द डेमोक्रेसी दैट द रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स आर ऑलवेज अकाउंटेबल टू द पीपल हला आउ बेसी अधिका किछि कहूनी मु तापरे हला ये लास्ट पॉइंट टू सम ऑफ द दिस चैप्टर the democracy is one of the most important, that is your prevailing pattern of or form of government. Most of the country they were adopted, and this is particularly speaking that this is based on the consent of the people, and in a democracy power is to be derived from the people, or the ultimate power is derived from the people. Okay, this is all about your this chapter. tapore in next class we shall discuss about the other things. Bujhiela?
Yes sir.
So that we conclude. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.